I have over 400 odd fragrances, but which one make my top 10 Middle Eastern budget list? Let's find out. Hello people, my name is Nixon and you are watching Smelly Cat. Now I got tagged by Shajeel from the channel Sent On to reveal my top 10 fragrances for life. If you haven't checked his channel out, he does a lot of Middle Eastern hidden gems just like I do, and not just in English but in Urdu as well. So I'll leave a link to his channel. If you're interested, you can go subscribe to him as well. Now I know what he tagged me on, but I thought it would make sense to give this a little twist. Since I do a lot of Middle Eastern fragrances and I concentrate on hidden gems and budget fragrances, I thought I'll bend the rules a little and make this a Middle Eastern budget version of my top 10. Also, I did a little poll recently asking you which video you'd like to see next, and around 50% of you picked my top 10 Middle Eastern fragrances. A lot of you also wanted to know what my top picks from Lattafa were. And also I get a lot of people asking me what my favorite budget scents are. So I said, you know, why not create a mashup of all three? And that's what this video is. Now I decided to stick to a budget of around 150 dirhams, just because it wouldn't be fair to add this list on a list which also has your Amwajes or your Rasasis Baruz line or your Hindal Ouds and those really expensive Middle Eastern perfumes. So I'll make that video separately where there's no budget, and that way you'll know my picks from those as well. But first I thought let's do this one. Now what's my criteria? I'm going to rank these on the original scent itself. I'm going to rate this in the purest or the best form that the original scent was available in. I'm also a sucker for compliments. Who isn't? So compliments is going to play an important factor in this list as well. Now's a good time to remind you that if you haven't subscribed, this is the time to do it. Come on, hit that subscribe button and that bell icon too. And you can wait till the end of the video to hit the like button if you like the video. Done? Cool, let's go for it. There are no worthy mentions because this will just make the video really long. I'm just kidding. Let's do the worthy mentions first. Killer Oud Nights of Arabia. This one is a nice, clean take on Byredo's Black Saffron. Ana Abiyat Rouge, the best budget Bakarat Rouge 540 clone, and I was one of the first to talk about this. Afnan 9 PM, best budget ultra male clone. Ajmal Kuro, my favorite Dio Savage clone, beating Armaf Ventana, Pride of Armaf, and any other Savage clone in the market right now. Lattafa's Just Oud Boulevard, not Just Oud, Just Oud Boulevard. This is better than Just Oud and not like Bentley Intense like people are saying. Alright, let's move to the list. On number 10 I have Killer Oud from Paris Corner. Now if you're surprised why this makes the list, that's because of the amount of compliments and the type of crazy compliments I get from this. I was on my honeymoon and this came with me to Rome, Florence, Venice and Amsterdam. I got compliments in all 4 cities. You have to listen to this incident. In Rome, I was in one of the 100 churches that we visited, and there was this massive Saint Michael the Archangel painting. And I was standing underneath it and looking at the painting, and there was this woman standing next to me, and she suddenly screams out saying, "Can you smell that, guys? Can you smell that? It smells like the heavens. I can smell smoke. I can smell an angel." And at first I didn't know what she was trying to say. And then she started describing. She's like, "Can't you all get that smoky incense smell? This is how heaven smells like." At first I believed it as well. But then I thought maybe it is what I'm wearing. So I went to her and I gave her my wrist and I said, "Is this the smell that you're getting?" And she was so embarrassed. At the end of it, everyone sort of had a good laugh. But she actually took the name of Killer Oud from me. On the same trip in Venice, I was at the Rialto Bridge and I was wearing this one again. And it was sort of crowded because everyone wanted to stand up on the bridge and take a picture from the bridge of the canal with the boats moving. And this guy comes up to me and says, are you Arab? Is that an Arabic smell? I said, yeah, that's what I'm wearing. And he also took the name of Killer Oud from me. If you're looking for something cheaper than Killer Oud from Paris Corner, I don't know why you would, but if you are, there's also Ardal Zafran's Midnight Oud. I just got this, so I haven't really tested it out in real world scenario, but from what I tested it at home, it seems neck to neck with Killer Oud. They are very close to each other. This one has a little more opoponax, I think that's what it's called, which is that more resinous sort of feeling, and this one has slightly more freshness to it. At number 9, I have Rasasi's Shuhra. This one is a love it or hate it kind of scent. You cannot be on the fence with this one. You will definitely have an opinion on it. This one smells like the morning after a bachelor party. Imagine an expensive, trashed up Las Vegas suite. Smoky, ashy, leathery and debaucherous. This one is a nuclear bomb of a performer. I love it because it is so brash and unapologetic. My number 9 is Rasasi's Shuhra. Moving on to number 8, I have Rasasi's Hawas. This one to me is better than Invictus and Invictus Aqua because it smells similar and it gives me a lot of compliments, and it is 1/3 the price of both of them. Women love this stuff and they'll come and ask you what you're wearing. They're asking because they can buy this for their partners. Here's a tip. A lot of them say that Lattafa's Najdia is better than Hawas with better longevity. I don't think so. This one lasts and projects like a beast with me. Lattafa's Najdia is not bad. It's slightly greener, but this one has that beautiful bubblegummy vibe that will get you compliments. Maybe it's the reformulation, but see, this is the color of the juice I have. I don't know about those performance issues because recently a friend of mine came over to my place and she was going through my entire collection. And out of all the perfumes that I had laid out, she actually picked this one and liked this one the best. Her name is Karen. Karen, if you're watching this video, I'm talking about you. She bought it for her husband, Sherwin. And she actually told me that she likes it so much that she ended up wearing it more than her husband when she goes to work. So in terms of compliments, in terms of likability, this one I think is much better. Alright, at number 7 I have Lattafa's Qaid. Now Qaid means commander or leader in Arabic. What an apt name for this. This is strong, this is spicy, woody and oriental. The bottle might give away that it is a Dunhill Icon Absolute clone, but believe me, it is much more than that. It does remind me of a Middle East version of Dunhill Icon, but it also reminds me of a whole lot of other fragrances like Tom Ford's Oud Wood and Polo Supreme Oud. Performance I'd say is above average, but it's the scent itself that puts it on my list. It's got a unisex royalty sort of vibe where you can imagine a sheikh or a sheikha wearing this. That's why Qaid makes my list. On number 6 I have Ajmal Evoque Gold. Now this is a clone of Prada L'Homme. So if you have had issues with how Prada L'Homme performs on your skin, then this one is a really good option. This is actually my favorite budget fragrance from the house of Ajmal. I have Oud Kalakas King with me as well, but this one is a better clone in my opinion. This is slightly more refined, smells better, lasts longer and smells closer to the original. I can guarantee you this, that no one is gonna say that you're wearing a clone when you wear this one. It's so smooth and it offers something different from everything else in my list, and that's why this one is my number 6. Ooh, we're reaching the top 5. On number 5 I have Arabian Oud's Kalimat. Now this one is one of the most beautifully crafted scents in my collection. It is a more polished version of what Lattafa's Ragba wants to be, or even what Scent Stories 24 Gold wants to be. This one starts off with a very unique bilberry and anise note, but then later it starts becoming closer to the two scents I had mentioned earlier. But when it dries down, it turns into something much better than the others. It's got this honey musk amber combo that is just beautiful. I just cannot stop sniffing myself when I wear this. It's sweet but not sickly, woody but not oody. This one wins because of that perfect balance. Arabian Oud Kalimat, my number 5. On number 4, I have Rasasi's Fatan. I rate this scent very, very highly. It's so green, so earthy, so good. Somewhere in between Terry the Hermes EDP and Terry the Hermes Intense Vetiver. Almost as good as the former and much better than the latter. This is how a clone should be done. A must buy for Terry the Hermes lovers. My number 4, Rasasi Fatan. We're now on to the top 3, guys. Are you excited? You should be, because at number 3 I have Club de Nuit Intense Man from Armaf. What do I say about this? You already know it, you already own it, and you already love it. Now I'm rating it on the first couple of bottles of the EDT I owned 5 years back, much before any reviewer spoke about it, much before anyone else wore it around me. I actually picked this up from a petrol pump back then. This by far gave me the most compliments out of anything that I've ever owned, and it also lasted longer than anything I've ever owned. One thing I noticed is that it was mostly men asking me what I'm wearing so that they could end up buying it themselves. So even though I'm not happy with the recent post 2018 formulations of this has a special place in my heart, and it definitely has a special place in my top 10 list. Now for my number 2. This one is Lattafa's Nakat Al Oud. Such an underrated scent, this one. For me, this is probably the best scent from Lattafa when it comes to the scent quality. This may not be a people pleaser, but for those who get it, this one is amazing. The oud is synthetic like all Lattafas, but it smells so good. I'm a sucker for patchouli, and the patchouli in this one is, I don't know, just so expensive smelling. There's this cedar patchouli prominent sort of backbone in this one, and that just works for it. It smells to my nose a lot like Arabian Oud's Kalamat Black or Sahar al Kalamat, and even a bit like Amouaj's Jubilation Man. I bought this for around 30 dirhams, guys. In terms of quality, at 30 bucks, I have no clue how they've done it. Definitely, if you are into Middle Eastern scents, this should make your list. This makes my number 2. We've reached the end, my friends. Mera number 1, I'm so sorry, but it is Lattafa's Oud for Glory. I just added this to my collection and it has moved up the list quite quickly. It's an Oud for Greatness clone, as you can tell, and a pretty damn good one at it. You can call this a manlier, woodier Bakarat Rouge 540. Oud for Glory is rich and refined. It somehow manages to be warm and spicy, yet cool and fresh. It's got an earthy patchouli and a smooth oud and a very, very aromatic saffron to it. I recently found out that you can actually get this in Dubai for as less as 30 dirhams. That's not even $10. I paid double of that and I still don't regret it. 60 dirhams is nothing for this. Look at the presentation. I'll show you the box that it comes in as well. This is how it looks. It comes inside this. That price alone has helped it move up my list. My number 1 right now, Badi Al Oud or Oud for Glory from Lattafa. That's the video, guys. I'll quickly tag a few people on the video so that we can see what they have in their top 10 list. You don't have to stick to the Middle Eastern fragrances or budget fragrances. Just do a top 10 of whatever you like. First, I'll tag Jameel from Fragrance Jam. Now, from what I saw, and I recently just subscribed to him, he's got quite a good collection. So Jameel, I'd love to see what your top 10 list is going to be. Next, I tag Joy Amin. No introduction needed. If you know me, you probably already know Joy Amin and you're already following him. He's one of the first to start talking about these hidden gems and Middle Eastern fragrances. So Joy Amin, I'd love to see what your top 10 is. Next, I'll tag AC from Smells Good. Fellas, I just love the way he describes fragrances and breaks them down. He's got quite the nose, and sometimes I have to go back to fragrances only to smell it because of the way he's described it. There are so many things that I miss, but when he's pinpointed them, he's always accurate. And when I go back to the fragrance, he is almost always right. So AC, tag, you're it. That's the video, guys. Let's do this. Why not leave your top 10 in the comments below and let's see who gets voted the most. Tell me what your top 10 Middle Eastern budget fragrances are and let's see who gets the most comments. Until next time, keep smelling amazing.